Hi, everybody. Today, I just wanted to make a short clip to introduce this series on training skills. And one of the important skills that you would want to train early is any skill with duration requirement. You'll want to make sure that your dog understands to stay engaged in a skill. And so it's not what's been called by my good friend Chris, touch and go. And so when I'm teaching a young dog, one of the first skills that I teach is touch. And I teach this skill not because it's actually such a difficult skill, because it's not. I teach it because it allows me to start my conversation with my dog, introduce the vocabulary of training. It allows me to see what sorts of learner I have. In other words, how does the dog respond to challenges, or do they stay committed? Do they try harder? Do they quit? And then I also use it so I'm assessing how well the handler has developed their communication skills, how well and how accurately they're marking the behavior. So in this video, I'm going to share, I've got three different, well, actually start with one dog, and then I'll introduce others. But in this video, this dog is Gil. He's one of my border collies. And he does have a background, a small background in the touch game. So he was introduced to touch as a momentary, hit your hand touch kind of game. And he does have experience with understanding the marker, which is yes. And so I'm going to talk through this with you so you can see what kinds of things he shows me. So what I'm working on here, as I want him to show me a duration, I want him to pick my hand, touch it with his nose, and then keep it there. So I'm going to share my screen so we can talk through this. Okay, so here we have, that's Gil. Gil's the coated dog. And at first, all I'm doing is I'm touching his nose. You notice that I'm holding my hands to his nose. The second dog is my border collie Vic. He's a pup, and I could have put him in the crate, but I didn't. And so there's also a knuckle bone out there, which is competing interest. Okay, so Gil returns. We go back to work. I just want him to permit me to allow me to touch his nose. A little bit of duration. He feels comfortable with that move. Gil has also had some work with chin maintain, which I'll show in a separate video.
Yes.
And so he's getting used to this idea.
Yes.
When I terminate, when I pull my hand away, you can't hear that on here, but when I pull my hand away, just before I pull my hand away, I'm saying yes. So I will say, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So he understands that the duration is what I'm after. I want him to hold his head to my hand. And when he, noticed my other hand was there with the food in it and got a little distracted. And if he doesn't, or if he shows me that he's confused, I just say, okay. And I just take my hand away. So he's getting a little flabbergasted there, okay. And I discovered that if I held my hand to the side, it was easier for him.
Yes.
And so he was choosing my hand and he was holding his head there.
Yes. Good boy. Yes, good boy.
I'm saying yes before I deliver the food, so it's yes, and then I move my other hand to give him
yes,
food.
Good boy. Yes.
So he's getting more fluent. That was a nice one. He actually he's starting to show me that he's got some understanding of it. Now, interestingly, when I move my hand in the other direction, he has struggles with it.
Yes.
Now he's
Good boy.
put his nose to my wrist. That's an approximation, and I'll take that.
Yes. Yes.
So he does well with my hand on the right,
Yes.
and that was a little bit longer one. He's doing quite well. Still struggles when I move my hand in the other direction.
Yes.
Okay, that time he held his nose to my thumb, and I was good with that. If he doesn't touch it, I just take my hand away. I'm not too concerned if he makes a mistake.
Yes.
Now he held his nose to my wrist again. I'm not concerned that he's holding his nose to my wrist. I can gradually fade the position of my hand so that he starts holding it where I want it to be.
Yes.
Common to have this happen,
Yes.
where you'll get several good responses in a row, and then they miss the cue. So right now, the hand going down is the cue.
Yes. Here you go.
And I'm not saying anything like touch or hold or anything like that. I just want him to understand that when my hand comes down, that if he touches it and holds it there, he's going to get something. And there was and he didn't get that one.
Yes.
That time I kind of pinched his nostrils just to make contact.
Yes.
And that was a nice long one. Okay. I think I dropped some crumbs on the floor.
Yes.
Crumbs are deadly. So that's a little bit of a touch and hold. It's a criteria that it's not that easy to teach, surprisingly. So if your dog struggles with it, you might start with just teaching touch initially. So I will show another video with my other puppy who has had none of this, and he's just had a little bit of chin maintain work. See you next time.